Hello there, metalheads, and welcome back to another episode of Metal Verbalizers podcast. Today we will verbalize the Swedish heavy metal band Captain Blackbeard. The band made their first live debut in 2009 in Stockholm, Sweden. After their live debut, they worked on their first album, which debuted in 2011 with the same name as the band. Their sound has changed quite a bit over the years, and one of the most obvious changes is that in the beginning it was very guitar based, and then later when they released their album called Struck by Lightning, we started to see synthesizers in the music with a proper 80s vibe. This is a change that I personally like, and what I think of when I hear these synths is like retro gaming and Karate Kid or something. One band that I hear in the music is the power metal band Battle Beast from Finland, and then I hear a little bit of Saraya in there. Saraya is one of those totally underrated bands from the later part of the 80s. But these similarities are more from the 2018 and forward for Captain Blackbeard. And in their earlier years, I hear in one of their songs at least a tiny bit of Erik Johnson, the guy that created Cliffs of Dover, which is maybe isn't what you expect in a metal band, since Erik's music is more blues. But then we have to remember that a lot of the old style of metal comes from the blues. And I feel like I can hear a lot of blues in Captain Blackbeard's music as well. But when it comes to the looks on stage, and the members of the band has gone for a bit of a different style. And we got one like long-haired stud with a leopard strap, and a singer with a pilot captain's hat. And I guess that ties into Captain Blackbeard. This almost gives them different characters on stage, but everything still feels like one package. That I want to be very clear about. Everything is one package. And if we would talk a little bit about their future, we can, with a new album released last year, expect a lot of live action from the band, with 2 gigs actually already scheduled on their social or official webpage. I do not have any gossip though about new music. The normal pace for new music seems to be every second year, approximately, but since 2018 we have gotten something at least from the band every year. Speaking of the music, let's talk a little bit about the music that we have gotten from the band so far. Let's start from the beginning. The first album was released in 2011 and was named after the band, like I mentioned before. And as a first release, I would say that it is a great release. And in this album, you will find songs like Hey Man, Rock Is My Life, and American Dream. Next album in 2014 is called Before Plastic. This is another great album, and something that I feel when I listen to this album is that the sound might be a little bit more honed to what they want the band to be. And in this album, you'll find songs like Music Man, Aiming for Love, and Keep on Driving. Now we have reached 2016, where we get the next album called It's a Mouthful. And that is kind of a mouthful to say. Something that I really like with the songs is that they are very melodic instead of just chugging riffs and gut-ripping solos. And this is something that is very nice with previous releases as well. And on this album you'll find songs like Divided Feelings, Tearing Me Apart, and Mouthful of Love. Kind of ties into the album's name there with the last track. And exciting things happen in 2018, where we get the next album called Struck by Lightning. Something that also is new is the sound. Here we can hear an updated sound with more aggressive guitar sound and synthesizers with a very 80s vibe. And for a short period during this time, and also on the album, they had Linnea Wikström, from Therion, and now actually the new lead singer of the all-female rock band Thunder Mother. And in my opinion, her voice works fantastic with this kind of music. Songs that you will hear on this album are All the Pain, Perfect Little Clue, and Out of Control. Also later in 2018, we got a single which is a cover of Shawn Mendes' Treat You Better. This actually is something that I have big interest in, because there have been many occasions where I have found a modern song from the pop charts and wonder what they would sound like in a rock or a metal version. And this is something that you can find a lot of on the internet. And for example, Leo Moracchioli's channel, Frog Leap Studios, he has like that as a concept, taking pop songs and popular songs that come nowadays and then remake them into a metal cover. In 2019, they did release an acoustic version of their song When It's Love from the album It's a Mouthful. Now it's time for 2020. Here we start off with two singles called Headlight and Midnight Cruiser. I think that you already have guessed it, but these are of course a tease for the upcoming album called Sonic Forces. I would probably say that their sound is probably quite evolved to where the band wants to go with the sound. Together with the two singles, you'll find songs like Lights and Shadows, Tonight, and Gotham City for your Batman lovers out there. And after this album, we have reached 2021, and like I said, we have pretty much gotten something every single year. Now we have reached 2021, and here we get an 5-song EP with 4 live versions of some of their songs, and as far as I understand, a brand new song called Too Good. And is this song too good? Maybe that's something for you to find out. Saving maybe the best for last, we did get a brand new album last year in 2022 called Neon Sunrise. This album is fantastic, and I absolutely love what everything has evolved to at this point with the sound. Here we find some of my favorites like Wasted Heart, Burning Daylight, and Invincible. But anyways, now we have gone through all of their releases so far and talked a little bit about them. And I think it's time for my little segment that I like to call Erik's Top 5. And on that list, on number 1, we have Wasted Heart from Neon Sunrise. And then number 2, we got We're the Forgiven from Neon Sunrise. And then on number 3, we have Lights and Shadows from Sonic Forces. We got on number 4, All the Pain from Struck by Lightning. Number 5, Hey Man from Captain Blackbeard. And an honorable mention in here is Perfect Little Clue from Struck by Lightning. So this is a few of my favorite songs from their releases. But there are, like I said, many more awesome songs among their releases for you to check out. And over 10 years of heavy metal. Something that was quite interesting was that I found this band when I did research for my last episode about Dead City Ruins. And decided in like 5 seconds that I wanted this episode to be made. I think it was the same when I decided to make the Dead City Ruin episode. And it's really awesome when you find those bands that you just instantly vibe with. And in this case with Captain Blackbeard, I think it was Wasted Heart that I listened to. It was the first one I listened to, and I just vibed with it instantly. But to wrap everything up a little bit, this is a great band for you that like that 80s style synth metal, but with a modern touch. And if that doesn't sound like it is something for you, I encourage you to give them a listen anyways. The sound has changed a little bit over the years, and where up to 2018 they didn't have any synths, for example, in their sound. And they even had a female singer for a small period of time. And on that album from 2018, Struck by Lightning, they had a female singer. which is an interesting change, and I actually really like it. So with that said, I would say that there is actually something for almost everybody in their music. But in my opinion, this band is very promising, and where they could go as long as they want, really. And their music will be awesome on the big stages, since they have a pretty big sound, in my opinion. If you happen to like this band, make sure to follow them on their social media. They even have an official YouTube channel that you can check out. And on there they have like music videos, and I think they have some live performances and that sort of thing as well. And obviously, the most important thing is to check out their music. But anyways, if you like what we do here on Metal Verbalizers, bringing you new awesome metal to rock out to, don't forget to follow us as well on our social medias. And I would like to know what you think about this band, so head on over there and tell us what you think about them, and we can discuss a little bit about it. And also, if you have a band or know a band that you want us to verbalize, you can tell us over there as well. And maybe your band is going to be the next one we verbalize. With that said, thank you for listening. You've been listening to Metal Verbalizers podcast, verbalizing the band Captain Blackbeard.